For a hand-based ulnar gutter with the eyepiece free, I start by placing the patient with their third web space at the edge of the splinting material. Next, I'm marking the PIP joints of the ring finger and the small finger. The easiest way to think about this splint is you're creating a mirror image of the first pattern that you're making. So you can literally flip this person's hand over and create the same exact pattern again, but usually that's uncomfortable for this person. In the clinic, I'll just mentally mirror the first landmarks I did about 2 to 3 inches away and then create my pattern. As we start molding the material to the patient, I start with their elbow resting on the table and their wrist in neutral. As the material starts to cool, that's when I bend the patient's fingers into 60 degrees of MP flexion and I hold them in an intrinsic plus position. After trimming and softening the edges, I like to place the splint back on the patient and mark where I'm going to be putting my straps. We want to put one over P1 of the small finger and the ring finger, one at the base of the palm at the distal palmar crease, and I like to do one around the wrist to make sure that the splint is not sliding up off the patient's hand. Make sure you're educating the patient how to don and doff the splint, especially with putting the straps on. This seems to be the trickiest part, and a lot of people have difficulty remembering that the strap is supposed to go in between the third web space and not around the whole fingers. I find that rounding the edges of the finger part of the splint is difficult, so what I do is I add a piece of foam, and that usually will stop any sort of rubbing or disruption of the skin at the base of the fingers.